This weekend in the church, we celebrate the great feast of Pentecost, the birthday of the church. And we celebrate, as we see in the banner behind me, the Holy Spirit being poured out upon Mary and the apostles in that first Pentecost after Jesus had ascended to heaven. And we'll hear in the readings this weekend how after the Spirit came, some great things happened. The apostles started speaking in tongues, they threw open the doors, and the people who had been gathered together in fear and trepidation before Pentecost, all of a sudden were fearless. They were bold, they went out and started preaching in the street. That shows us just a glimpse of the power of the Holy Spirit. Because on Pentecost, we celebrate that the gift of God is now given to us, to dwell within us through the outpouring of the Holy Spirit. And that's a powerful gift. That's a potential we don't often tap into. Because after Pentecost, if you look at history, a bunch of scared and frightened fishermen, tax collectors, women, people who are not the best and the brightest in the world became fearless. They became bold. They literally took on and within 300 years had overcome the Roman Empire and had brought about a new culture, a new world into existence. How did they go from one extreme, being locked in the upper room, to people who could change the world? Well, the answer to that's pretty simple. It's the power of the Holy Spirit. And my friends, on Pentecost, we can never forget that Pentecost is not just a day that happened back in history, a day that has happened, but it's a day that continues to happen because we, through our baptism and confirmation, have that same spirit that the apostles used to overthrow the Roman Empire, to change the world. As now St. Oscar Romero once said, every day is Pentecost within the church. And today, as we celebrate the power the Spirit had at the very beginning of the church, it's a wake-up call for you and me to tap into that very same power that we have as well. You know, in 2021 on Pentecost, we need that wake-up call. Our world's being torn apart by partisanship, by fear, by anxiety, by people disagreeing. There doesn't seem to be a lot to be positive about. But yet, the power of the Holy Spirit reminds us that we, the followers of Christ, are called to be that powerful force of change through the Holy Spirit dwelling within us. And the good news is, we don't have to overthrow the Roman Empire. We don't have to conquer worlds. We simply have to allow this power of the Spirit that lives within us already to start being shown, to be demonstrated in our words and in our actions, to be Spirit-filled people, to allow the Spirit working in us to change the world. On Pentecost Sunday, we celebrate how that happened on the first Pentecost. But let's not forget, Pentecost is a celebration and a challenge to continue to allow that to happen this Pentecost and every day through the power of the Holy Spirit dwelling within us as well.